You know, I missed the noise. Make sure I order the effects like today, tonight. I
Okay.
mean, the thing so I can make my own effects. I don't want to be limited to the TikTok of it all. Excuse me for making adjustments. Probably not even an adjustment I need to make, but looking a little crooked just messes with me. All right, so we're here in the room. Do me a favor.
Mhm.
Two things. The remote so I can put a little fan on my head, and the remote control, and some water in my water bottle. You know me and water bottle, good friend. It's a good friend of mine. How you doing, Miss Ruth? And good evening. Back at you. Okay. Man, I really want to go on to the next point, but I said I do want to finish what I started. But the next point is so cool. Um, I love that one with the truck. But yeah, I'll start here and do what I'm supposed to do, and make sure everything is right. So, welcome, and let's get the invites out. Get the folks up in here. Weather has been nice finally. No more gloomy, snowy weather. Yes. God bless and amen. It's good because we're planning to come next week, so we don't want to run into none of that. We try to stay here to avoid every bit of that. So I think we've accomplished it. Um, we also do this. Take this one here and go to. Mhm. Oh, so it doesn't affect it, huh? I put it on here. It's not affecting. I can still see the chat and stuff for YouTube. Oh, that's cool. Even though they're both logged in as Vision Builders.
Mm.
Okay, so now YouTube is open, so I can see YouTube as well. That's great. Okay, so let's get some people in the room. Let's get the people invited. Um, so I'm gonna get going. Also, which I'm covering what we covered, and then we move on from there. Um, um, we're talking about the 5A plan, right? And well, let me just say, Lord, we just submit this live to you and let it be a blessing to us and them who hear it. And let us get from it what we need, grow and learn, and be better stewards of the time, not just finance, but the time and everything that you give us. We use it wisely, we use it correctly, and we use it to be a blessing to others. Thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
So let me see. Ruth said it's been in the 70s. Wait, did you say it was in the 70s? Wow. Okay. Wow. So,
Amen.
well, how you doing today, Mom?
Fantastic.
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 And Edward is here with us today. Your cousin is here, chilling. She did what everybody does when they come here. Stayed in bed till late.
Mm-hmm.
Something about being here make people want to sleep. It's just such a relaxing atmosphere. You don't want to just get up and just run around. You want to stay in in relax mode, at least for the first couple of days. She said, yes, it's been nice. It's been nice. Okay, so make sure you invite some people. Get your taps going. You Nelly, you got your tap?
Yep, I do.
All right. Get your tap
Also
on.
get it on right now.
And shoot a text out to Dynamic or whatever her name is now.
Mm-hmm.
She always come up with these long names, but hey. So Power A plan is you gotta have a plan. And I'm gonna shoot through some of the older stuff just because I want to make sure everybody is up to date. Thank you for the go populars already. You guys are sending in the hot me's. We appreciate you. Um, so let's make this happen. So I'm thinking about a plan, right? I'm thinking about a plan. I'm thinking about what a plan is, right? I want to start with, where are my books?
Oh.
I'm gonna have them here for later. I want to start with, just the whole process that we had to come up with to do these books. And truthfully speaking, not initially knowing what the plan would be, right? We just knew it needed to be done because we filed for the trademark, and we knew it filing for the trademark was going to require something of us that we think, baby, that we thought we had 11 months to get done. Then it turns out, nope, you don't have 11 months. You got 3. And so we went hard. We were trying to do all the books. And then, as we were sorting through the process, we realized, well, the book that I thought I want to be the first book, they said probably should be the follow-up book. Okay, so, well, trying to get all 5 books done. It was like, well, but they only want 2. Okay, well, we're still working on the 4 at least. But we know the playbook and the mindset book are going to be, the first books that we're going to get done and push to the market, push to the viewers, push to the people. Let me see who's in the room. So people. Hi, Esther. I see Esther's here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and of course, Amanda's here. Hi, Amanda. Welcome. So, start thinking about plans, and something became very clear to me. And again, thank you already for the taps and the hearts and the, yeah. So listen to me. When we got started, we had what we thought was, this plan. We got 11 months. We're going to get these books done, and then we're going to have them out. And then all of a sudden, the thing came back quick. We got approved pretty much for the trademark, and it was like, okay, now you got. At the time, we had a couple of months, and we had to extend it a few more months to get it done. I mean, we had just really started it with the books. But our plan changed drastically. It changed drastically, and it pushed us to a corner. It pushed us to a place where we had to come out swinging. We had to come swinging hard. We had to, expand our horizon of how we were looking at things, and we had to definitely crunch our timeline. So it was all hands on deck. Everybody came to the table. Like everybody had to some degree or another, step up their game in what we needed to do to be successful and get this book done, or these books done for the trademark. So from designing covers, I remember I was first, Esther, talking to you about the cover I wanted, and you kind of brought some ideas that were close, and then I just went and just redesigned it in the workbook cover, but with the same image I had. I don't know if you noticed this, but remember I wanted the rings, so I got the rings, and then the rings also go around the back of it, if you see that, and then the rings come around the other side. I wanted it to look like a real, like a silver front playbook, right? And then of course the second book I designed it the way I designed it. And the guy said, yeah, he used my elements, but he made the city bigger, which is, I think, Nelly, was you said the one said you want the city
It
bigger?
was Lindsay who said
Then said the
that.
city should be bigger. I had it a little tiny on the top and the words bigger. And he said, no, no, no. He redesigned it. He changed the words and he took the little city that, and I created the city in not Canva, chat or one of those. I kept doing it over and over and over till I found a city that I liked and colored it right and had to then put it in, edit it, and make the colors match, the road and the words and fun. My point is, I started it thinking it was going one way. I started the book covers thinking it was going one way. I started the books in the way the books would be done thinking it was going one way. And everything I did went another way. Everything we thought changed direction a little bit. The plans had to be altered. The way we looked at it changed. But that wasn't the thing that I really want to push home tonight. What I want to push home tonight is the goals may have changed. The methods may have changed, but the goal pretty much stayed the same. The timeline got pushed up, but the goal stayed the same and grew, right? It went from a book to 5 books. But my point is, we had a plan to get books done or a book done and get it to market and do what we needed to do to land this trademark. And as a result, we wound up with more books because it was a book. And wound up with more books. I wanted to trademark Vision Builders. I wound up trademarking You Ready, Let's Grow, because in the multitude of counsel there's safety. So I wind up now trademarking a whole different thing. And so then creating a logo and blah, 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 on and on and on. Well, here's my point. You get on the road to do what you're doing. Sometimes the picture winds up being bigger than what you thought. A little bit different, but ultimately it's the same. If you think about it, Nelly, we thought about a book and a trademark, and we didn't, I don't want to say I didn't think beyond it. I knew what I wanted it to do, but it turned into something bigger and better. It turned into something, after a little push and tug and pull, something bigger. So now Amanda, I'm sure, can relate to this. Hey there, Dynamic baby. How you doing? So, you started out with one farm and then you turned to another place and then it's going to be carriages, maybe not. And what you do and what we were talking about earlier is, do you trust the process? Do you trust, the God who gave you the instruction? Do you trust the process? Because the process starts changing. This process starts morphing into something different than what you thought, and it starts to look like it's not going right. But do you trust the process? Hey, Christine, did you trust the process? Do you trust the process is my point. We're talking about the 5 points of a plan, but I want to make sure that I started this conversation by saying the scripture says a man plans the way in his heart, but God directs his steps. So you have the plan, but sometimes you have to be open. I don't say sometimes, let me not do that. You need to be open-minded with the approach and the method and the way you get there. The way you get there may not be the path that you originally planned or thought. And I want to see if anybody wants to jump in on this and talk about this part a little bit before we go on, because a lot of people get discouraged and lose the dream and the vision because they have a thought of how it's supposed to go and the way they thought it would go and how it's going to be done. And when the plan seems to deviate from what they had already decided in their mind it would be, they lose heart and hope. And it's important that we understand. See, you joined the fan club for 2 months? Well, thank you for joining the fan club. I've seen the fan club thing pop up, but I don't really know what it is. But let me not get distracted. Okay, so do you have a plan right now? Is there something that you go have a goal toward and you're dreaming of and you're working to complete, or something that you believe was given to you, a vision God gave you, whatever the case may be, and you're on the road to accomplishing that plan? If that's you, say yes in the comment. Let me know. You can even talk about a little bit of what it is if you want to, but if not, just give me a yes. Like, yeah, there's something in front of me that I know that I believe is a destiny or a goal, at least for me right now, and I'm working toward that goal. I'm doing my best to see that goal or that dream come to life. So we got a couple of yeses in the room. All right, good. And you can keep putting them in as you're going. And if you don't, then you have to get one. Without a vision, the people perish. We have to have a vision. We have to have some kind of goal that we're reaching for. So what I want to encourage tonight as we go over the notes again is that in the process of pursuing this dream, things gonna happen or things that may happen that really totally looks like it's diverting you away from the dream. And what you have to do is keep your eye on it, because eventually the road will lead you back. If you give up and go say, I guess this is not what it is, you're gonna lose the whole thing. But if you keep your eye on the goal, you eventually find your way back onto the track. But you'll find your way back with some insights or some new direction, or you realize the goal you were heading for wasn't as big as it could be. I've shared this a couple of times. You know, this is my experience. God was telling me, you need to move and you need to get a house. Now, I need you to understand this as I'm telling the story. I had no house. I had never lived in a house. Nobody in my family had a house. We were struggling and barely getting by um, with what we had. We, barely keeping the roof over our head with what it was. But I started packing my boxes, believing for a house. It's crazy. Everybody said I was crazy. My family said I was crazy. My kids probably thought, I know you dynamic thought I was crazy. Everybody thought I was crazy. I thought I was crazy. But I started this journey of packing up, and nothing happened. I wanted to get evicted. No house came from it. We went from one place to another. It just wasn't seeming to work out. And the house I was thinking I was getting was this rundown house in the Bronx. But hey, at least I got a house. I could fix it up with time. And I had all these dreams and plans. But I knew it was a house. And when the eviction happened and when it went the way it went, then I took another apartment, figuring, okay, maybe that wasn't the plan. Back in the apartment, got an apartment on Kruger Avenue. That didn't work out. And now I'm wandering around going, what's going on? It's like, I told you, a house. Yeah, I tried to get a house. I didn't tell you, didn't ask me where the house was. You just went out and started trying to do stuff, and you got, and of course you tried to get the cheapest, bad, ugliest house you can get, because you figured based on where you were and who you were, that's where you could get. Okay, so I got quiet. Where am I supposed to live? Then tell me where the house is supposed to be. And I was helping this young lady do her computer, and she said, she started talking about houses in the Poconos, and she wanted to get a house in the Poconos, and she gave me this business card. She gave me a business card. Okay, a house in the Poconos. Well, I had been up to the Poconos a couple of times for timeshares, and I even said, man, I want to live up here. And I gave the person a call. Long and short of it, he said, I got a place you can rent if you want to come up here and try it out. And I went up there and I rented a house in the Poconos. And next thing you know, I got a house. Then I got a house in Allentown to rent. And, I ain't gonna go through all the stories, but now owning houses and properties is something that just comes normal for me. But it didn't go the way I thought it should go. But the fact that I was going got me started. So I'll say this. I see. I'm gonna respond to your comment in a minute, Dynamic. You said you were too young. We were all what? Your brothers, you, us. None of us knew what we were doing. We just were following. But here's something I learned in that trip. I told you all that story to say this. I share this analogy, and Nelly, I don't know if you ever heard me share this before. Sometimes God would say, "Get on the road. I want you to go to California." And you'll go through the whole thing. I don't know anybody in California. California's expensive. I don't have any right connections out there. And you start going through all these excuses. And God, in his clever, sneaky way, would say, fine, go to Virginia. You go. Well, at least I know people in Virginia. I got connections there. I know somebody promised me I'd get a job. So yeah, fine. And you pack everything up and you get on the road. I'm not just using this as an example, but this is the way I've seen it happen. I'm hoping this is encouraging because it's real. And I've seen it more than once. Yeah. Pack up everything, you finally let go of where you're going. You put everything in your truck and you head to Virginia. And you get to Virginia and every avenue and every door closes on you. The job you're supposed to get, gone, didn't go through. The house you're supposed to get, nope, sorry, already sold it. Everything that was supposed to happen. Now here I am sitting in my truck full of furniture, not knowing what I'm going to do. And then the guy's like, well, since you're already on the road, you might as well keep heading to California like I originally told you. You ain't got nowhere to go now. You might as well keep going. And I don't know if you ever had that experience, but I have several times. And after a couple of times, I learned from it. Just get on the road. You see where you're supposed to be once you start moving. So she said I was too young to know where we were really going, but I knew you were passionate about everything you believed in. Yeah, and that passion for a lot of people was irritating. There was nobody in the family that supported either side. Andrew's side, my family side. Nobody. Until after it was done, and everybody was like, yeah, I already knew you had a special gift. Nobody was saying that when it wasn't working or when it looked like it wasn't working. And I bring that up to make a point because during those times, a lot of times there's a shaving, there's a cleaning, there's a pruning, there's a separation of those who really are supposed to be there and those who are not. You start to find out what people really believe. It doesn't matter if that's friends, family, all that. I watch some of the stuff I'm going through now without going into the detail with the building in New York and my brother. And I say to myself, it seems crazy now, but when I'm worth billions, it doesn't mean that building means nothing, which it already doesn't, because now my mind is already there. And I'm like, but it gave people the opportunity to show themselves. It gave people the opportunity. It gave people opportunity to show me who they really are before I got to where I'm going. Because now when I'm there, you can't come back now and go, "Oops, my bad." You showed yourself. You showed yourself in shining colors. My family members showed themselves in shining colors. You can't come back now. And now they'll be like Mariah Carey or her sisters and stuff getting on the news. They're about, yeah, she's our sister. She don't speak to us. Yeah, but what your N-words did before though? That's why. So yeah, of course she don't talk to you. So it's a time of pruning sometimes. This wasn't all part of my story or what I want to share, but I hope it was helpful. Did anybody benefit from that in any kind of way? Because that was a real thing. And thank you for the gifts, and thank you for the hearts, and thank you for the love, and thank you for the go populars and hot knees and all of that. But anybody want to jump in here with me before I go on the notes? Because and you can still get in the room anyway if you want to. Did you invite Tane?
Yes, we did.
Perfect. All right. So where was I? The plan. That's what this was all about. What is the plan? What does the plan look like? Do you have a plan? I'm gonna make one more analogy before I go forward. When Jay-Z did the Fade to Black, when Jay-Z did the Fade to Black, after he did the Black album, when he was supposed to be retiring, and he did the Fade to Black, and they were showing video clips, and he was sitting in the room with Just Blaze and I think Pharrell, but it was a couple of people in the room, and they was just working hard on this beat, and it was going and going and going. And Jay-Z sat there on the couch, and then he walked out the room, and the cameras are following him. He said, "I don't like this. It sounds forced. It's like they're trying to make something, and it sounds forced." So when he turned around, he came back in the room, he stuck his head in the room and said, "I just want to let you know, y'all can start wasting your time with that, because that's not happening." And Just Blaze said, "Man, I hate when he does that." But I understood what he was saying. And then he made this statement. He said, "Listen, you're supposed to bring all your creative elements in the room, and you're supposed to do what you know to do. But you got to leave the door cracked so God can get in there and mess with it, right?" And that was the thing that stuck with me, right? A man plans his way, but God directs his path. And on the road to what you're doing, everybody who's doing something right now, yeah, have your plan. Yeah, lay out your steps, put your course in place, but please leave the door cracked. If you're smart, you just open it all the way up and leave it only cracked for your plan. My point is, do your best, do what you know to do, but always be ready for a quick U-turn or a quick right that you weren't expecting, or you won't have to go through a field that you weren't seeing. And all of that is in process of your plan. Because even if it takes you off road for a while, when you get back on the road, you have something that other people don't have. They don't know how to go off the road. They just know how to go straight. And so now if trouble or anything happens or trees fall or whatever, they're stuck. You know your way around. And it may sound like some common analogies I'm giving. But what I'm giving is really, really helpful, because disappointments happen. Things come to discourage you. And even though I'm not trying to like do a sermon, I am who I am, so I talk the way I talk. It's two things. Discouragement and disappointment has powerful meaning to it. So I want you to walk with me on this, and then I want you to jump in the comments. And I know this is going to be helpful, especially, Amanda, you taking some big steps now. Discouragement. So if you're into Latin prefixes and suffixes, Greek and Latin prefixes and suffixes, you know that the word, the prefix "dis" means against or away from or a negative of. So you say discouragement, then you know it's courage, and then there's dis. So like assemble, disassemble, right? So courage, discourage. So that means this is something that comes to attach itself to your courage to take it away from you. Mm-hmm. I heard a from over there, right? Boss, right? But it's real. I'm not being philosophical. This is the reality of it. So that means if you take the dis off, you still have courage. But if you leave that on, it starts to drain you and take away your courage from you. And you have to really make a decision to remove the dis from your courage. Or let's go to disappointment. You have an appointment. You have a plan. You have an appointment. You have a goal. You have a dream. Disappointment comes and is sent to take you off of your appointment. And so it's you think about it like that. You have to then say, regardless of I have to ignore the dis of it, and I have to get back on my appointment. I have to ignore and totally block out the dis of it and stay encouraged. And that, I hope that helps somebody. Amanda said, yes, it's real.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very real. All right. Let me get to some of the notes, and then I'm going to open up the floor, and hopefully you're coming in. So make the direct points. It says you got to have a plan. Everybody's got a dream. Well, at least we think they do. A lot of people have a goal, but your plan has to be something that you call. Your plan has to be something that's called to the dream, to the goal, to give it life and fiber and purpose. So we called it the 5C complex, and which I took from the other guy's video. Your plan has to be clear, concise, compelling, consistent, and committed. Now I won't go through all of those again because I did all of them except the last two, but I'll just slide through them real quick. And babe, if any comments or stuff comes up that I need to be aware of, let me know, because now I have my notes up so I won't see them.
Okay.
So the goals, the plans, the dreams have to have something that glue them together, right? The goals, the dreams have to something, that's a plan. Dreams without plans stay just dreams. And that's a really interesting thing because I remember saying I had all these dreams. I got dreams, and messing with my dreams, I got dreams. And it was like, well, with dreams without a plan, it's like, it's really more wishing. And the sad thing with dreams is you wake up from them. Reality kind of hits you and you wake up from them, if you want to call it reality. But let me say life hits you. Life hits you, because I don't even call that reality. To me, if you got a vision from the throne, that's reality. Everything else is just life, and life comes at everybody. So everybody has, dreams, but life will do its best to wake you up from those. So you have to make a commitment to say, what do I need to do to take this out of the realm of dream and plan, adding a plan to a dream. I've never said this before, but this is the way I think and the way I look at it. Adding a plan to a dream makes it a vision. When you put a plan on a dream, now it becomes a vision, because now it's something that comes out of the realm of the sleep and you brought it into the realm of the awake, and you're now working toward it. Bars. That's bars. You like that, mommy?
Yes.
That's bars. I know that's bars. Somebody putting this bars. Put it in the chat. Bars. If you don't know how to spell it, it's B-A-R-Z. Bars. You got two Z's on it. Okay. Give me some bars. Let me see bars in the chat. Come on, everybody. Get in the chat. You don't have to say it's bars, Amanda. I know it's a different culture. It's just bars. It's funny. Where are the rest of you guys? Where you got? Sleeping? You just got your computer on, you walked away? Give me my bars. She said, oh. Edwidge, where's my bars?
I put bars up there.
Where? I don't see it.
The first one.
Yours?
Yeah.
Okay, Nelly came behind you. Let me see. I don't see that. Oh, no, you were. No, you're not. I don't see you.
Yeah, they come.
I'm in there.
Okay, I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
No, you ain't in here.
Maybe they read it.
Where your bars? Where your bars? Put them in there
I
again.
don't know why I'm not showing.
She did put it. I saw it. Oh, I see it now. No, I don't see it. That's me. I don't know. I'm not seeing.
You're very special.
Sometimes that happens.
Anyway. So, anyway, vision. Without a vision, people perish. It doesn't say without a dream. It's without a vision. Visions take form when you start working together with a plan. So, dreams, goals, where you want to go. People talk about what they want to build, talk about the impact they want to make. But talking about a destination is not the same as mapping out a route to the destination. Something happened?
No, we was looking for her comment.
Okay. Talking about a destination is not the same as mapping a route. Mapping the route is planning. Now you're saying, I'm going to get there. And that means I got to figure out where I am realistically to know where I'm going. I'll cover some of this. I'm going to cover some of it again, but I'm trying to be brief about it. Everywhere you want to go, knowing even where that is not helpful if you don't know where you are. And not being willing to be realistic about where you are is counterproductive to where you're trying to go. I hope that makes sense. You know, I always use it as an example, but it's a good example. When you in a mall and you go to the sign to find out where the storage you want, it always has that little thing, you are here, because there is no direction to where you're going without understanding where you are. And not understanding what you lack, not understanding where you're not informed, and not understanding where you're not educated, not understanding how you talk to people. There's a video I just saw, what's his name, from Empire. The actor, the guy, Lucius. How can I remember his name right now? He talks slow, man. Him. The light-eyed guy, the light-skinned guy with light eyes, the actor. And he was talking about, Terrence Howard, thank you. And he talked about how
Terrence Howard.
He, was in the movie and somebody told him his name should be on the top. And he went to the producer and the producer told him, no, you're not the star. And he told him, why should you talk to me? I'll hit you in your mouth. And, next thing you know, he was kicked off of Iron Man. And, and he said it was just his inability to manage his personality, his tone, his attitude because of his street, because of where he came from, because of the hurt he went through in his life, and feel like his need to protect myself. I'm not gonna let nobody screw me over. And he continually did things that ended opportunities for him. And I thought about that and I said, yeah, we all go through that phase, but it takes an adult to grow up and say, okay, yeah, I'm counterproductive to my own growth. I'm self-destructive. And what is the kind of conversation I need to have? All right. I can't come at people gangster and have gangster conversation with people that I'm doing business with. This is not that environment. This is not the place for me to be flexing and telling people, yo, I'll kick your blank, right? This is not where that goes. If you leave in that world behind, you'll have to leave that world behind. And everybody I've seen who try to go move into the next phase of their life and take the old thing with them, they usually wind up back in the old thing. So, it's important. You have to map out a route and you have to be on the road to that route. And on the road to that route, you're going to have to leave some things behind or let go of some things and ways of doing, the ways of thinking, ways of dressing, ways of talking. It's part of the process and we learn from it. Okay, the computer just totally shut down.
Oh, what?
It went off, right?
Yeah, just frozen.
No, the computer died. Is it not plugged in?
Plugged in?
It's plugged in the wall, but I didn't look to see if it had power.
Yes.
I think this cord has been beat up by Nelly enough that it's not acting right, or it totally shut down. So I don't know if it had any power. Oh yeah, no, it's almost dead, and it's no power coming off of it. I need another cord.
Oh.
Can you bring my bag?
Okay.
I think this cord is dead.
Look back, look back.
Okay, he's coming down in a few minutes.
Well, we're still alive on what's the name. That bag doesn't have. I need I need a C to C. There's one right here, I think. Wow. That's crazy. No,
Yeah, he's still up there.
I need the bag.
Which bag you talking about?
My backpack bag.
The back. Oh, he's still up on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm definitely still up on YouTube.
Oh,
Sorry, everybody. I think that cord got beat up so bad it just stopped working. It's not that, it's the power box. We're gonna find out right now. Let's see. I'm gonna log back on because it's just gonna kick me right back out. See if it's that. Yeah, here we go. People probably like, what the heck? No, I don't think it's your cord, Nelly. So maybe the power bank is dead.
you want to just go come or you want to just go live on your phone?
Same amount of time to do that as I'm doing. I'm taking to do this. We just had no power at all.
He's still up.
Mm-hmm.
He's still like,
Yeah.
It's still alive?
Yeah.
yeah, it's still there. It's just frozen.
Okay. Well, it must be the computer. It's not registering it any of these codes. We plug it in the other side. Maybe the computer itself. The cord been yanked in and out of there enough that it stopped working. The computer's not taking the charge. The outlet bag?
You want to try this out?
Wow, the computer is not accepting power at all. Okay, listen.
Well, your watches are growing on YouTube.
Well, somebody else came in the room.
We had 4 people.
Well, listen, all my notes and everything, just
You want to pull up? Well, we can pull up the notes on the phone.
on my iPad or something
On the
else.
iPad. Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, I guess we got to turn the phone around and just go live on it.
Yeah, the other way for TikTok.
Okay, so
It's family tonight, so they'll come back.
let me get this.
So,
Sorry, YT. I'm sorry,
Yes,
YouTube. Sorry to mess with you.
and
Let's go to
we have 4 people on YouTube.
Okay, let's get TikTok happening.
Who baptized Jesus? John.
But you see my comments, Edwidge? Technical.
Yes, I see them. We will be starting. Technical, yes, we just came through.
Okay.
Mhm.
Trevor Noah's mother was a very intelligent.
I'm in the right place, live. Oh, before I do that,
Oh, okay. Just undid it.
Everybody's like, what's going on right now? Now let's get settings.
That was a while that my comments weren't coming through. I
Oh.
saw them myself.
Oh, maybe that's why.
That was weird.
Oh.
Oh, that was the first one.
And we're back. Can you clip that back in?
Sure.
Now, being able to read the comments, I'm gonna have to go over here. Okay. Let's see what happens, and let's get that up over here now. And my notes. I have to figure you out later. I got time for that. It just shut down. Okay. Plug this in that cord, so don't yank the.
So I'll plug this in here. Okay.
Yep. Thank you. Let's get everybody back in the house.
Okay.
Sorry I left you. And, let's go. Friends and family. Mm-hmm. All right. So now I'm gonna try it with the iPad and try to get my notes on the iPad too. And let me know if everybody's back and if everybody's back in the room.
Okay.
We was doing so good. We was doing so good.
Man is back.
Okay, sorry guys. The computer just shut down. It just said, I'm not working no more. It wasn't receiving a charge anymore. I don't know what happened. The battery, the plug just wasn't accepting it anymore. See, I'll pull up my notes over here. And hopefully get you back where we were. There we go. So, are we back? Let me know we're back. Let me have who's back. Are we back?
Esther's back. Amanda's back. Nami.
It just messed up my whole flow, but anyway, I'm here. So I don't remember what I was saying when it cut off, but I'm going to go ahead and just keep going down the basic points of the plan that I had. And you guys have to let me know when there's comments and stuff and let people in the room and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So everybody has a dream, everybody has a goal, but the question is simple because dreams without a plan stay dreams. And that's where I kind of left off. So
Dynamic is back.
excellent. Yep, the computer just shut down. It just decided it didn't want to participate. The laptop just decided it just did not want to hang out anymore. And it wasn't receiving any charge. We thought it was plugged in, but I should have looked to see if it had the electric sign on it. It did not. So for some reason, it was not receiving electricity. Go figure. We talked about dreams. We talked about dreams. Number 2 requires structure. If you want to turn a dream into reality, and you need a structure. And we talked about the structure last week, the time before last. A dream needs a structure. It needs, the plan. Say a dream needs a structure through the plan. A dream becomes possible when it becomes organized. Dreams are usually not organized, so it's a plan. That's actually what brings the organization. Dreams are filled with wonder. They're filled with excitement. They're filled with, all kind of euphoria. They're filled with actually, like, a lot of times not any real accountability to being human. It's just it's a dream, and it's supposed to be like that. That's not a put down on the dream. It's supposed to be childlike and filled with wonder and giddiness. But the reality is, to pull it from the realm of a dream into the realm of the reality, that's where the plan starts to shape it or helps it become. If I can give you a simple example, painting a picture, making a sculpture, it's a dream in the mind of the person. And in the mind of the person, they could probably see that sculpture even being physically alive and walking around. But the reality is, it's not going to be that. But once they start planning it out, knowing what tools are necessary, I don't know how to make a sculpture. I'm always amazed to see how somebody can take different tools and different things and chip and bang on a piece of stone or whatever and create something. We were at this art display with Dr. Angie when she was here last, and we went to Wynwood Walls. And it's a whole bunch of different art displays, but there was a whole room of pictures that are made by people, and you've probably seen it, taking chisels and breaking it and cracking up the glass. And they're literally like chopping at the glass and making beautiful artwork. I mean, detailed artwork by cracking glass. Have you seen that, Edwidge?
No.
We need to take you there while you're here. Literally, I mean, you can look it up online, but it's amazing. They're taking a little chisel and a hammer and banging the glass, and then taking the chisel and it's amazing what they're doing. But in the mind of somebody that had to be a dream that they had to figure out, I'm sure the first couple of hammer hits, just shattered the glass and it didn't work. I don't know what they were sitting down saying, I'll take a hammer and just bang on some glass and see if I can make a picture. I don't know. Maybe they dropped a piece of glass on the floor and like, ooh, that looked kind of like an eagle. Let me see if I can, I don't know what happened with that. I don't know where their mind was when they came up with that concept, but it's a beautiful concept when you see it. Okay, so dream becomes possible when it becomes organized, it becomes scheduled, it becomes actionable, and then that hope starts to be built around it, because now it's gone from being a dream with a plan, and now you have something you can hope in. It's not something that fades away in the morning. And the strategy makes that hope work. The strategy of it, the planning of it makes that hope work, putting together an actionable plan. And sometimes that means bringing in people that can do something that you can't do to help that thing happen. But strategy takes place. And that's where the whole plan you start to see the plan form. You have the dream, you got organization added to it, you get schedule on it when you want it to happen, and then it becomes an actionable item. Hope kicks in, hope is possible, and then strategy makes hope work. And that's where the plan begins to come in. So we talked about the steps of it: clear, concise, compelling, consistent, committed. So let's deal with clear. Clear, we covered that. Clear. We stopped on what? Concise? No, consistent and committed is where we were, right?
We stopped at compelling. We did clear, concise, and compelling. We're up to consistent.
Right. So let me just concise. So let me just go to concise, clear. It must be clear. We understand what clear is. If you don't understand your own plan, nobody else will. Let's just go leave that there. Concise. Your plan must be concise. It shouldn't be so complicated that it can't be executed or given room down to discouragement. It shouldn't be so abstract. Like I sit down here, people discuss their plan, and I'm like, you like Lindsay would say a phrase that they use in the industry a lot, and she fell in love with that phrase. What's the lowest hanging fruit? And I remember when Nellie first came to me with, her vision. She's like, I want to have a school. I want to make wigs. I want to teach people how to do hair. I want to have a salon. I want to have a bunch of salons. And it was like so many different. And then I want to make food in there, and I want to make cupcakes, and I want to cook, and I want to have a bakery, and I want to have you had so many things. But did you have a restaurant in there too?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, a restaurant. She was just sitting there. She thought she was really wowing me and impressing me with all of these ideas. And I was going, you are crazy. You have no idea what you're trying to do, what you want to do. And I don't want to have anything to do with anything you're talking about right now, because you want to make me crazy like you. So I see some comments. Is comments going in there?
Let's see. Yeah, so we have, that's just the comments from TikTok. No, it's just
okay,
TikTok.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's why I left my screen in front of me. So don't overcomplicate it. Overcomplicated plans create delays, which then gives a doorway to discouragement. Just keep it simple. Figure out what you're doing. But there's so many things I want to do with my life. Okay, well, what's the one you're doing right now? A lot of times people come with a lot of plans because they know that it means that they don't have to really execute anything at any time. It's execution loves simplicity. Execution thrives on simplicity. The simpler the plan. I mean, I remember when we were working on the books, Lindsay started talking about the website and all the kind of things we could do. And we started talking about the plans, and we could start setting up to promote it, market it, and speaking engagement. I was like, okay, stop. We're finishing books right now. That's all we're talking about. We'll talk about all that other stuff later. Right now, it's getting the books done for the trademark. Nothing else. We know new website. I saw some new things, some new ideas. I said, yeah, we're not doing that now. We're going to leave the website just like it is until we pass the inspection or what's necessary to get our trademark. Then we can go in and rip the whole site down, change it. Listen, if we decide we don't like the book covers, we can go in and revamp the book covers later. I want to add 5 more chapters, 100 more chapters to a book. I'll do that after. But for now, let's keep it simple. Let's finish these books. Let's get them up online, which they are. Even the workbooks are online now. I saw them today. Made me feel very good inside.
So Esther had a question.
What's your question, Esther?
Esther said, do we want to go for the lowest hanging fruits? That's like, yeah.
This may sound like a wise guy answer, but it's not. When the last time you ate? You may need that low-hanging fruit. Are you going to step over $10 burgers to get to the cow? You follow what I'm saying? These things are accomplishments on the way. So yes, low-hanging fruit is the fruit you get first. The other fruit is more difficult. And so if you want to climb to the top of the tree to get the highest fruit, you can go for it. And everybody's going to clean out the low fruit. When you come back, there's going to be nothing there. And when you get to the top, a lot of times there's not a lot to choose from. So yeah, the low-hanging fruit's important because it feeds you as you go for the next level and the next height. I know what you think the lowest level fruit means, the cheapest, the lowest. No, I didn't say the low. I didn't say garbage. I said it's the fruit that you want, but the fruit that's closest to you, you're supposed to have that. You're not supposed to leave it on the table. You're not supposed to walk over it. I heard Kenneth Copeland say this a long time ago, and it spoke to me. Never forgot it. He said, if somebody sends me a cow with a bag of money in his mouth, I'm gonna milk the cow before I send him home. You know, and that stuck with me, right? And so I give you a biblical example. Jesus, they came to Jesus about their taxes. You know the story, right? They couldn't pay the taxes, and they came to Jesus about the taxes, and Jesus said, "Throw the hook in the water, and when you get your fish, take the coin out of his mouth and go pay your taxes," right? But the scripture says, and they took the first fish and opened his mouth. First fish meaning there were more than one fish, number one. I think a lot of us would have put that hook in there and got that first fish, coin, got that coin out their mouth, started praising God, threw that fish up in the air, went to pay their taxes, came home and found they didn't have no food. Now they crying because they ain't got no food. Back to fasting and praying. You understand my point, Esther? Yeah. Fruit is accomplishment. So you take it and then you build with it. And that was a long answer to a short question, but I understood where you were coming from. I'm never going to let overthinking or pride make me think that, okay, thank you, Holy Spirit. That's a better way to say it. Despise not small beginnings. I land my plane on that. Don't despise small beginnings. I guess that's in there. I guess that's in the Bible for a reason. What you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
it needs to be concise. It needs to be simple. Something you can grow with. I'll take the lower fruit if it's still the fruit of what I'm reaching for. Yes. It needs to be compelling. It needs to motivate you, but it needs to motivate others. The thing I love about the Vision Builders team is I was able to create something for us as a team that everybody rallied around. Edward, you're here. Nelly, you're here. Ruth is here with us. Everybody got behind and around these books and this concept. Now I'm sitting there saying, okay, now I need another plan. The books are done. Now what do I need to do? So I've looked at a couple of courses and classes and looking at things, the way we can market and stuff like that. And there's a new process involved now. So we have to start the next phase of how we get this thing to where it's supposed to be. But I had to start with the first step, and that was to get it done. And I had to make it compelling enough that people could see the vision. If I just say, I'm just going to write a book, I did that before, but I had to write a book with a vision attached to it. Now, Edward, you're here, and you know why you got involved, and it wasn't because I was writing a book. Am I right?
Correct.
Ruth, you're here. You got involved, and you didn't get involved because I was writing a book. You got involved because there was a compelling vision attached to this whole concept of this book and this trademark that made it exciting. Your plan must be compelling, and it has to be something to you first. And when the plan is compelling, it keeps you moving, it keeps you motivated, and when motivation disappears. But it also keeps your team motivated when it doesn't look like things are going the way they want. Passion fuels endurance. And if your vision does not pull you forward, when you hit the obstacles, you're gonna quit. You're gonna lay it down. You're gonna walk away. So it needs to be. It needs to have something that compels you to go forward. It needs to have fuel. It needs to have fire to it. There are people that have come to me that have said to me in terms of Live Unique and in terms of vision builders, I want in. What I need to do. Can I invest? How can I get involved? And that lets me know that I created something compelling enough that people see value in it and they want to be a part of it. Hey, now we're at consistent. This is where we left off, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Consistent. Your plan must be consistent. It must be consistent. It has to continue to go even when the gas is low. It must be consistent. You can't do a little bit and stop. So let me give you an example. I started going live. I remember the whole thought of me even doing social media was ridiculous. I'm not doing this. And I pushed Nelly to do it. And then Nelly said, well, if I got to do it, you got to do it. And so it became a thing where, okay, well, I can't ask her to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. So here I am. Now watch this. When I first started doing it, I started doing it kind of like, but then I realized if you want to grow, you have to stay consistent. There has to be a motivation. Well, every week I gotta talk to the team. What should I talk about? I gotta find videos of things to talk about. I gotta then give it to Edwidge and say, Edwidge, can you pull a script out of this for me? And it's a process. We were sitting here tonight. She said, you gave me like 3 different points. Which one you want to talk about? Well, you know what? I'm just gonna give you all 3 of them and you just pick it. And I realized, wait, we didn't finish this one. So we're gonna go back and finish this. You have to be consistent. And consistent, we already talked about motivation and motivation being pulled out of something that's compelling, but then you have to be consistent because motivation fades and something else has to keep you going. And sometimes you got to support through. Mike Tyson said, doing what you hate like you love it, or doing what you love like you never stop loving it. It's important. Progress doesn't come from occasional effort. It comes from ongoing effort. Progress really comes from ongoing effort. I think even situations themselves test you at times to see if you really love them like you say you do. That sounds funny, but I do. I think the law of success and prosperity is kind of shrouded in, let's see if you really love this thing like you say you do. And I think situations are there to push you to see if you do. I just do. I believe that. I believe there's something attached to that. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Any comments or anything I need to speak on?
Let's see. Ongoing effort, Amanda says. Let's see. Oh, Esther said clear now. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She got it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so.
Yeah.
You stay with it when results are slow.
Mm-hmm.
You stay with it when doubts appear. Commitment separates interest from dedication. That right there. Commitment separates interest from dedication. It's people that are interested in you and what you're doing, people that want to be a part of you and what you're doing, they're not dedicated to it. A lot of times people will enter your arena, your atmosphere of what you're doing because they're interested in seeing where it goes and seeing what benefits them, but they don't have a dedication to you and what you're doing or the vision itself. They're not dedicated to to the vision. They're dedicated. They're interested in your concept and your idea, and they want to see how they can benefit from it. It took a while with the team for me to see the dedication. Everybody came on board interested, including myself. It took a minute to develop the real dedication to what we were doing and to see the dedication in and around the team. And I made it very clear, people can't be in this or on this if their only dedication is to themselves. So the plan is shaped and is formed, but commitment, people that are committed to you and committed to the vision, they're interested, but they don't show dedication at off times. Now I'm gonna give you an example at which you can tell me if you can relate to this. You too, Nelly.
Mhm.
You're working with somebody for a season of the project or what's being done or what you're doing. They're really excited about it, and then you start to see that excitement fade. You start to see, okay, now all of a sudden it's not as crucial to you. When it was crunch time, you got it in, you got it done. As soon as crunch time was over, I never heard from them or never seen that fire in their eyes again. They like the moment, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
But then the wave and the explosion, but all the little mellow things that happen or need to happen to help you be successful or to help you achieve what they started with you, they don't have that ability. It's burst of energy, but it's not committed, consistent energy. So people will take interest in what you do and get excited about it. And I want you to really listen to what I'm saying right now. But they're not committed to it. And because they're not committed to it, when it ceases to be exciting,
Yeah.
they won't show up.
Right.
You won't hear from them. They won't be there on the days of that. And you and I were talking about it, at which when I picked you up from the airport, about the bass guy in Boys to Men. And you said you thought he left for religious reasons. I said no. That when he did the interview, what's the one? The one I mentioned him, Stockman.
Stop. Yeah.
He said no, like he just stopped showing up for rehearsals. He wouldn't come, he wouldn't show up for rehearsals, he wouldn't be there. And then when they landed the show in China, he comes knocking on Wanye's door saying, "When we leaving?"
Oh.
And Stockman said, "Dude, you're not going. You haven't been to any of the rehearsals. You haven't showed up for any of the sessions. You haven't been around. And now you show up." And he said, and he started beating on him. He started fighting him. And after that, he said, "Okay, that's it. He's out." He put him out the group. So yeah, the whole he left for religious reason. That was them trying to be nice. He wasn't interested when it wasn't exciting. He wasn't interested in the work part. He was only interested in so we're gonna get to travel around the world and go on stage and sing. And they put him out for that reason. I didn't know that was the full story, but he talked about it on his podcast. So here's my point. I stayed long on this, but I'm really serious about this. People will come to be a part of what you're building, but don't get excited about their excitement. Watch them for their commitment. Watch them for their commitment. And it won't take you long if you watch them. Everybody comes in the door excited. But commitment separates the real people, the interested people, from the dedicated people.
That's good.
That's good?
Yep.
because every time you start a new vision, everybody comes in. Everybody wants to be in. I'm gonna throw a couple of final points in, and then I'll open the floor. I love passion, and I love when people are passionate about something. Passionate people are powerful people, but passionate people without plan. The best way I can put it is put in an explosive device in the middle of a parking lot. It's just a big bunch of noise. It's fire. It's just fireworks. But putting one thing in a really strategic part of a building, one small thing will bring the whole thing down. So my point is, it can't be excitement. It can't be just passion. Passion has to be tempered with focus. Passion has to be tempered with commitment. Passion has to be tempered with the C's. And if they don't have that, clear, concise, compelling, and consistent and committed, passion fades. I love passionate people. I love driven people. But passion's not enough when the going gets rough. It's just not enough. I've seen people get into relationships, passionate relationships. Oh, I love her. I love her. The time we spend, the intercourse. I mean, we're grown folks. We can talk, right? But then over time, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we did all of that. Now what we got? Not much. I got bored with them. It wasn't like it used to be. It's not going to be like it used to be. It's going to change. It's going to mature. And the things in the relationship that are most important are going to show themselves. After all of that goes away, now, are we committed to this? What do we have? Are we on the same path? Are we going to continue to walk the same road? Or are we not? You're going to go a different way now, and I'm going to go this way, and you're going to go okay, problem. So I love passion. Passion is good to get you started. It's a good motivator. But it's not a way to bring the deal home.
Mm-hmm.
So
They have a few comments in there.
And you can open up the room too.
Okay.
I'm done.
No guest request yet. Okay, you can actually. Can you send it from yours or?
You can't let people in?
Right. If you see requests, you see if it'll let me do it.
Yeah, you're a moderator.
Okay. No guest request yet.
And hit me with the questions while you're doing that.
Okay. She's not here. Mom is there. All right. So basically, yeah. So Amanda said, wisdom, and Edward said, the dopamine highs. Like that's like dopamine.
Dopamine high. That's not a question.
No,
I mean,
it's
no,
just
sorry, those are comments. I'm sorry. They're not questions. They're pretty much just comments.
Okay.
See, I've seen that, or they suddenly they only want money. That's what Amanda was talking about.
Right.
People just
They're
want the
not
money.
working for the vision. They're
Correct.
working for the dollar. Right. She said it's frozen again. I can still see myself fine. You'll see me frozen?
Mm-mm. You're moving. Maybe you were still.
Mm-hmm. Huh?
You probably were still, but you're not frozen.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm not frozen. I was listening. I can freeze. I can do it real good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was it. And she said, I never heard that as a law of success, testing your consistency. Wow.
Yeah.
That was me. I was
was-
going to actually ask you to speak to that because that was.
You got to speak up so they can hear you.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I wanted Mr. Brown to speak to when he said the law of success, testing your consistency. Like, I wanted to see if that was something you came up with, or was that something that you actually read somewhere? Because I
No,
thought
that's a deep Brown
that's
original.
ah
No,
okay.
just from life, from experiences. I noticed how many things I didn't succeed at, that when it tested my consistency, I fainted. There was so many times in my life, there's so many things that, and of course, if you need somebody behind you, a lot of times to push you to keep going. But when too many things I let go of when the going got rough in my life. I know it. There's a lot of things. There's things I said I would not let go of. Nellie and I had that conversation about herself. She said when it came to her knowing what she was believing for when God told her about her husband, she stood and stood and stood. But there were other things where it was like, I'm just going to get up and do what I need to do every day. But that commitment to breaking free, she had to get to that place. No, it will try you. It will try you because if not, everybody would be successful.
That's true.
Ooh, you know.
Everybody wants it. Everybody want to be successful.
Right.
Everybody want to be rich. Want to be.
Mhm.
And I came to a reality like later in my life when I was like in my upper 40s, pushing their 50s, like want to be and going to be is two different things. So if I can answer that from a biblical perspective as well, let me just speak to that. You want to be successful, you're going to be. Everybody wants to be. Anybody will take it if you give it to them. But who makes up their mind, I'm going to get through no matter what? Now, it's crazy. I hear people say all the time, church folk sometimes can be the bane of my existence, right? You don't know, God is able. And I go, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means if he wants to, he will, but he may not want to. What does that mean? He's able. Well, yeah, if it was his will. He said, I wish above all things you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So he already laid his will out. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life. All these blessings come upon you, overtake you. I mean, he already made his will known. So is there a sub-will that we don't know about? Well, I just believe. I said, no, here's what you believe. You believe he's able, thereby excluding you, because now you can say it didn't happen because he wasn't willing. Well, there's a difference between knowing I'm able and knowing I'm willing. It's a difference. I could probably give everybody on this call without really destroying my life $10,000. I ain't willing. So you ain't getting it. It's just like that. So knowing God's able is not faith. That's wishing. Knowing that he's willing to do it for you is different. It requires you to take a stand for something that you're going to or supposed to have versus it's possible I could have it. It is. It's possible that anybody can have it. So I believe circumstances and situations eliminate the weak. I believe it. I believe the spiritual laws. I believe you don't have to accept this, that the spiritual laws are set up to separate the wheat from the chaff, to separate the committed from the fake. It is what it is. And if I go by biblical Gideon's army, go to the water, see who does this, and whoever does that can't come. Let's do this, see who does. What was he doing? Process of elimination, correct?
Right.
The 10 virgins, they ain't bringing enough oil. Oh, now give us some of your oil. And I'm giving them my oil. You didn't bring your own oil. You should have had your own oil. And if I give you my oil, then you come. I'm gonna be stuck outside with you. You know, Mama gotta help him. I believe I'm supposed to help him. Well, this Jesus told me that story. He said, nope. And when bridegroom came, they was going back to get some oil, and by the time they got back, the door was closed. Come with your oil. So I believe, based on the scriptures I've seen, based on what I've experienced in life, that the processes eliminate the weak from the strong, the committed from the not. And I've been on the weak side of it several times because I came at it with a wish. And when the smoke cleared, I wasn't standing. Amanda said, so real. It's the truth. People are not going to take that stand that you're willing to take. They're not going when the wind, another story, when the rain descends and the wind blows and the house ain't founded on a rock. You know, that, what was that about? He's saying there's a house that ain't going to make it, and this house is going to make it. The wind and the rain going to come, and it's going to descend, it's going to beat on that house, and the house that got a solid foundation is going to stand. This is me believing that the spiritual laws go forward to find out who's committed and for real, who's not. You know, that's my belief. You believe what you want. That's my belief.
Kareem came in. He's liking the lives.
Thank you, Kareem, and appreciate having you here.
Right.
So yeah. Anything else? Anybody want to come in? Anybody was trying to get in the room? If not, I'm gonna say goodnight. I think I gave you enough food to sleep and eat.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I did my job. I came and I saw and I conquered. It was almost going on 2 hours. No, hour and a half. Perfect. Exactly what. Well, it's not going to count it as that because it got cut off and we had to start over again, unfortunately. But she said commitment is everything. Am I reading right? I'm reading that screen from all the way over here. Look at that. It's renewing my youth like the eagles. Thank you, Esther, for the gifts. I see them pop up there. The Go Populous. Thank you very much. Thank you. Is the dynamic in the room?
Says she was up there. I don't. Yes, she's here.
You want to get in here and say some encouraging words real quick before your daddy go? You coming in and dropping bars and jumping in and jumping out. Let me know. Give me a yes, give me a no. Well then, you have no more comments. You have no more questions. Oh no, she in the room. There she is. She in here. Hey.
Hey.
What up, baby?
Nothing much. All of it is good. I guess I'll leave off like with a little cliche.
Okay.
Discouragement. You saw my discouragement, disappointment, and that is always a big part of life. And so, just set your mind that every setback is a setup for a come up.
I like that. I've heard that before, and I love that. You know what I was thinking when I was talking? You got to diss the diss and discouragement and disappointment.
Oh, and Ari, who says she
did y'all catch that?
Was feeling the passion.
She said she what? She's feeling what?
She said, I'm feeling the passionate part of things because I'm a passionate person.
Passionate people are powerful, but then you got to get to work. And
right.
And that's when it gets difficult. And I find a lot of passionate people, right? Yeah, when passion fades, they stop working.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing, baby girl. Any final comments and stuff before we go?
No, that was it. I think we read Amanda's commitment is everything.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was it. Mm-hmm.
It is. It's everything. And so yeah, and that comes from having a plan. Gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan. So, guys, I see you again on. Well, I was gonna say on Thursday, but I'm gonna see you tomorrow with Nelly. Are you going on tomorrow?
Yeah. I think it's gonna be like maybe like about 4:30 or 5. I'll figure it out.
I'm sorry, I didn't quote Ari right. She said you did not quote me right. She said.
Why she say it herself?
Want to say it yourself? What? I'm taking part. Don't be nervous. She said passion. She loves the passion part because she's a passionate person, but passion is not anything without the effort.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that sounds more like her.
Right.
Well, guys, it's been a pleasure as always. I see you on Thursday. You'll hear me tomorrow and see me on Thursday. And you guys have a blessed night. I'm glad you got something. Thank you for joining us. We're on the road to greatness and great things, and everything I can do to help you and help me at the same time, I'm going to do it, and I'm excited about it. So if I'm excited and you're excited, then we're going to do it. So.
Do we have a time for tomorrow?
Not yet. I'm thinking earlier because
I don't think she's going to do tomorrow. This thing's got to be done. I don't think she's going to do tomorrow.
I was thinking like the afternoon.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I knew so I can chime in if possible. After 3, I'll be serving for the kids.
Right.
So I just want to see if it will fit in my time schedule.
The fact that she's not sure, I'm leaving that on her.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I was thinking it'll be something like I just come on and maybe just say a few words, something like that, alive.
Okay.
But I'll send something out. Maybe it could be in the afternoon, like 12. But I'll figure it out between tonight and tomorrow based on our schedule.
Okay.
Okay, I will just text me.
Okay.
All righty. Love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you too.
And see you next time. You ready? Let's go. Have a good night, folks.